good, beautiful humans? Welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and the fabulous waving man is James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Show my girl some love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we got Shani here already. She said, I'm here and I'm first. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that a lot, Shani. We're going to get into the Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before we do, we have the friendly reminder. We hope that you like the video, subscribe to both of our channels. I do recaps here. We do recaps on James's channel. The link to his channel is in the description of this video. We are going to be getting into the Housewives of Beverly Hills. Caviar Catastrophe, y'all. That was I liked the name, but then at the same time, I was also kind of like, it really was a caviar catastrophe after watching. But this is season 14, episode 13. It does say 12. I will make sure to fix that for everybody watching on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, I made the live while I was on the BART train. I maybe should not have done that. I maybe should not have done that. But let's get into the episode, you guys. We do start this episode with Jennifer Tilly, which I was not expecting. I was not expecting at all. Shady laughing at me, hell. I'll be riding Bart, trying to multitask. I'll do the best I can. But we start the episode with Jennifer Tilly. She's planning the caviar event. The theme is caviar and caftans. And it's going to be at a restaurant that is closed and has been closed since 2022. So Jennifer just got the money to call the right people. That's all I'm gonna say. But Sutton comes in to talk with Jennifer about this event, and she tells her of what happened at the barbecue in the last episode with Miss Dorit. And she basically explained it. I think the best way to sum it up, Dorit was trying to perpetuate that Sutton has a drinking problem again by insinuating it, throwing light shade. And Sutton this time was like, no, I'm gone and I'm going to read you appropriately when I need to. So we move on because not much happened in there to comment on. We move on to Kyle. Right, Shani. Jennifer Tilly does seem really fun.
When I tell y'all there's not one housewife that I just want to hang out with all day because I feel like she's my right kind of kooky, Jennifer Tilly was everything. Even on Watch What Happens Live with her and Crystal, she was everything. And I was living for her confessionals. And I want to be that rich where nothing bothers me at all. I want to be that rich. I am speaking that out loud, Lord. I want to be that rich where nothing can bother me. I mean, I love Jennifer Tilly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like her. I like her. I know there's like rumors going around online, like the cast and this and that don't like her. I really don't care. It's not about who the cast likes, it's about who the audience does. And I like her. But we sit through Kyle and this terrible life coach, aka therapist. I don't care anymore about the separation. Let me just summarize what I got. She left him. Her inability to discuss hard things caused an issue in their relationship with discussing hard things. So it was really weird because Kyle was complaining about how recently he's not wanted to speak about the hard things, and he usually just waits for her to get over what upsets her. If you have gone 27 years or however long they've been married of not discussing hard things, and he has tried to, even if he cheated or whatever the hell went on in their relationship, allegedly, he tried to talk to Kyle about it, and it sounds like she shuts down and they just kind of move on or something. You can't fully get mad at him now that he is not fully in the emotions he's used to being in. Learn how to have deep conversations. This therapist slash life coach even said, well, you've told me y'all struggle with that. And so, and we heard the same thing from Bose. It's hard to get deep with Kyle. And almost every person new to the cast has said that unless they have money like Sutton's, people have struggled to get to know Kyle. And that's just the fact. So I don't get why she's doing all of that, but basically she's trying to figure out if she wants to move on or not. I don't know. This life coach is the example of privilege, in my opinion. He doesn't seem to do much. He's terrible, in my opinion. I don't see how he helps her. And he seemed like a little annoyed or drained with Kyle. So I don't know. James, are you there? If so, feel free to give an opinion. Other than that, I'm
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, y'all. I'm multitasking. But what I'm gonna say about that life coach is that I feel like there's probably things said off camera that she didn't want to put on camera.
mm,
That's why it seemed so dry because I felt like I know he just wasn't sitting there just to sit there and then not say or give her any advisement of what she should do going forward or why she's so guarded. I feel like Kyle doesn't want people to see the real her because it probably looked like a form of weakness. So I think that that's really her big problem. If I had to put something into context for her, because it is weird that she is so guarded and so in place when her personality is pretentious. It just doesn't make sense to me.
hmm. Well, unfortunately, I don't give a fuck, Kyle. I just don't. I do not care about this lady no more. We gonna keep it moving. Bose has a fertility doctor come to her house. That is real money. That's all I'm gonna say. She had the fertility doctor come. She said, "Baby, been telling her the same thing over and over and over again, and she don't listen." I don't even know, Shani. To be honest, twin, I'm so drained with discussing Kyle and Mauricio. Like her lack of wanting to discuss it and then discuss it a little bit without telling us anything. I'm over it. I don't care. I want her to leave the show at this point. Go figure it out. Hell, don't do it on our screens if you ain't gonna talk about it. Just saying, Kyle. She gets on my nerves. Not one or two. She irritates me. Kyle really does. But Bose has the fertility doctor come to her house. Um, she says she does most of her services at home, which is common. It is common. I know in LA and the Bay, you can get doctor visits at home dependent on where you go to the doctor, aka you need good insurance. Don't expect Kaiser to do it, but the VA, I know Stanford, Sutter, they'll do it. Shout out to them, by the way. So Bose has them come, and this is where she's telling the doctor of the issues she's had, uh, the preterm baby that did not make it, that she dealt with, how her daughter made it, but was also born preterm, just her fertility struggles. And what ends up happening is we hear a knock at the door, and it's Keely, the potential future baby daddy. And I said, how are you so intelligent and so successful, but you are sitting on television playing in our faces? You want to have a baby with a nigga that don't even got the key to your house. This man had to knock on the door to get in, but you want to have a baby. And I'm not saying he's a bad dude at all, but I'm just saying, like, as women, for our bodies to go through menstrual cycles every 28 days, and then to have to go through a 9-month gestational period, which makes you sad, hungry, fat, bloated, swollen, depressed. And then you got to go through postpartum and deal with that stress of making sure your child is okay. And you telling me you just gonna do this all with a man who has to knock on the door when he come to see you? I don't know, but she has good ovaries. She had 4 ovary houses, and looks like she does have the potential to have a baby. But
No, she had one good ovary and then 4 eggs. And the doctor counts, she goes, "You have one, two, three, 4 eggs."
egg houses,
Oh, she ain't got eggs. Like I thought it was
the
eggs.
eggs are in the house.
I don't know that part of the anatomy,
Well,
y'all. I'm so sorry.
you don't have it. You don't have it. You wouldn't really know. But yeah, she has enough houses. That's where all the eggs are stored to do something. But why are we seeing this now? He had to knock on the door. Not gross, but you feel that way. You feel that way.
Yeah. See, for me, I was like, when I first looked at that, see, this is how you know. I was like, this is how ignorant I am. I was like, oh, I said, them fibroids and grew back that fast. Damn, bro.
No, James, that's not ignorance. Because when the doctor, before she explained it, when she showed it, if you've had a fibroid, I've never had a fibroid, thank God. But a good friend of ours from high school, Jasmine, She struggled with that at one point. And I went to the doctor with her. We were very close, y'all, so it wasn't weird. And that's exactly what it looked like when they did the little
Yeah.
ultrasound. So I was like, wait, what? So at first I thought, like, did her fibroids come back or
That's what I thought originally, but when she said, "No, these are the egg," I was like, "Oh," I said, "Damn, her fibroids grew back that fast."
and just for anybody else who doesn't know, because even if you're a woman, a lot of people don't understand this unless you really like taken a health class or done nursing or anything like that.
Mhm.
The ovaries, according to the internet, the ovaries house eggs in small sacs called ovarian follicles, which are also known as egg houses. Um, that's what it says. What website is this? Reproductivefacts.org, whatever the hell. So I don't know. But Bose, we wish you the best. What can we say? Is there more I should say? I mean, that's all that happened.
No,
Hell.
I just really feel like I want her to realistically really weigh the pros and cons of it, especially because you've had severe pregnancy, like I don't want to call them like fallacies, but you have really bad pregnancy histories. I don't understand why you would want to, at your age, potentially put your body back through that again, all for this man when you have money and access to do other options. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm, I think that's the best way to put it because it's like we don't know enough, but okay, Bose. So we see Sutton discussing, I'm laughing already. Sutton's discussing this caviar event, and I was cracking up because Sutton was speaking about her love of caviar and how she usually orders the most expensive one on the menu. I personally have never had caviar and I have no desire to have it. I have zero desire to eat a damn fish egg or whatever the hell it is. But what I learned in this episode from Sutton, Jennifer, and a couple of the others, apparently the orange ones that look like the little Nemo eggs, because that's what I think of. I think of Finding Nemo and how he was that little orange egg that looked like a caviar in the movie that made it. So I'm thinking apparently all caviar is not equal. And I have no problem admitting this is above my pay grade. I'm on a social worker income, okay? So I did not know these things, but Sutton and Jennifer Tilly both said it. And I was cracking up when Sutton referred to Dorit as poor Reed. I think that is better than Doris. I think that is better than anything we could have called her. She said, poor Reed. I said,
I
oh,
was like, whoa, I was not ready. I did not. But I am here for it. I don't care what y'all say on social media. I am here for this. So yes.
listen, Sutton was harsh on Dorit, but these women treated Sutton like shit since she got here. So we're gonna get into that later, but Sutton has every right to have this energy. When you poke and poke and poke somebody, now the dog gonna attack you every time you come around because they've associated you with something that's a threat to them.
I can't wait till we get to that part. I just really can't wait.
And I do think Dorita's broke right now, and that's okay. But when you come on this show and all you do is talk about, oh, I've got Chanel this, I'm gonna wear designer this, and my outfits are what I've known for. Seasons ago, we was saying we getting tired of Dorit giving nothing but an outfit. Doesn't give anything. Now suddenly your marriage is over, and now everybody's like, oh, woe is me. We need to be sensitive. Like, no, poor Reet. So I'm gonna call her poor Reet the rest of the recap because it was that lives rent free in my head. Now, Bose and Poor Reed, they are in a separate space and they're discussing the Sutton issue. And Dorit is saying the same thing. She feels like Sutton's behavior has been inconsistent. So has yours, Boo. Poor Reed also, it seems like she doesn't understand the fact that you cannot joke about this woman's sobriety. You don't joke about anybody's sobriety. Even if someone has never had a problem with drugs or alcohol, it's not appropriate to insinuate or joke about that or put that narrative into the air, whether you are well known or not. You just don't say that about people, in my opinion. It's rude. And the fact that Dorit doesn't get that is odd. It's just, it was a joke. Girl.
It was like, no, it wasn't a joke. It was an insinuation that didn't stick because you couldn't prove it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem that I have with her, and why I don't understand why half of society who are viewers of this show are sticking it to Sutton as if Sutton did something wrong to her when this lady from a whole nother season was insinuating specific things that weren't even true. So y'all can miss me with that one. So no, yeah, Dorit, you know what you're doing. You know
Thank you, Derek.
exactly what you're doing.
Karen. Hell, Dorit be acting like a Karen in the sneakiest way sometimes. So we finally get to this event, and it's at a place called Caviar Capia or Caspia. The place again, they're closed unfortunately, but they basically serve. It seemed like people put caviar on baked potatoes. I guess it tastes well. Have you had caviar, James?
I have, but it was years ago. It was like maybe 2011, 2012 when I had it, and I don't remember it. I don't
Okay.
remember exactly. I knew where I was. I was at an open party for it was a real estate convention, and but it was a very exclusive club, and that was one of the things that they served. So I tried it. It was on a piece of bruschetta bread,
Hmm.
and that's all I remember. I don't remember.
Oh, that's okay. At least you tried it, hell. Uh, so at the event, I'm cracking up. Jennifer almost the way she tripped. She said, "How not easy to walk in the captain." I'm like, "Oh Jesus, Jennifer."
I tell y'all, I live for her. Like, oh my god, this lady can do no wrong for me. I'm sorry. She was hilarious.
She was unintentionally, which makes it better. Her and Kathy are funny, but everybody arrives, and Porit is not in the captain. She's not. She's just in like it looks like she tried to wear something similar to it. And she says to in the confessional, she's like, I guess I missed the memo on the dress code. Girl, it looked like you
Okay.
tried to wear something close to it because it seems like this season you are going through your closet and re-wearing your clothes like the rest of us because funds are tight. Because we know PK's in debt. You don't have any businesses succeeding. And I can't say too much on it, but the state of California is not the happiest that social services relates to homeless, not toothless. So, I, okay, Dory. So we get to the event, all this crazy stuff, and Sutton is drinking a glass of water. And this is where Dorit makes a comment about her drinking water. And it's like, are you drinking this basically because of our, little, you know, what does she call it? A tit something? She says something.
She said a tipped. Yeah.
Yeah, they're little tiffed. And Sutton looked at her, and Sutton on the way in the car was like, I am not here for this bitch today. I am warning all of you people that I am tired of this hoe and I will read her if needed. And the way Sutton looked at her when she said that was funny. She was like, no, why are you bringing this up? This is how you pick at me. Leave me alone. And that's where the foolery started. So everybody ends up moving to the table for the dinner. And I was a little disappointed, Jennifer, in her decoration for the dinner table. It wasn't ugly, but it could have been much better for the table itself. I just did not like it. Um, but they sit for the dinner and they start discussing like Jennifer Tilly and her career back in the day. She won an award with her sister. And Jennifer mentions not only were we one of the few pairs of sisters that won an award, but we were also the only Chinese American people to win an award that day. And everybody's looking at her like, what the hell? What do you mean? And this is what I mean by this cast does these little microaggressions lowly, or they show their prejudices and biases in ways that you can tell they're truly ignorant, but not ignorant in the truest form, because to be ignorant is to be not knowing, and they are choosing to ignore what they are able to know, if that makes sense. Because
Very well said. Very well said.
Jennifer Tilly, you should know, James has said this on this channel so many
Yes.
times. She's been around for a very long fucking time.
Since the 80s. Like, y'all, I knew Jennifer Tilly was half Chinese. She looks it. So I don't understand why we're so confused by that and why that was such a, oh my gosh, I had no idea. It's like, y'all just can say that is amazing, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, I am so honored that you shared that. Not
They said that's so cool.
really?
I don't like
Really?
how Erica responded. Well, I'm 3% native. Bitch, because your ancestors destroyed them at Turkey Day. Don't laugh at me. Y'all look up the history of Thanksgiving. James had to go off camera. It's the truth. So Erica don't be coming. Oh, 100% Nate. Okay.
He
Okay,
said,
Erica.
Erica, yeah, you always got to make something about you. Like, oh my God, get her off my screen.
You know what? She does. She does. Her and
Always got
Dorit,
to make something about her. Yes.
they do it in different ways. Now that you pointed out, Erica's less. Dorit makes it about her with no tact. Erica does it with a little bit of tact, but
Erica does it to prove that she's the smartest in the room.
mm,
If you ever notice, like when someone is given some sort of like a history or like a demographic of like political society, Erica has to prove that she already knows something and gives like some base knowledge of whatever they're talking about, and it makes her seem smart. I understand with the game that Erica plays, it's a lawyer game. That's how you know she was married to a lawyer. She's very smart. I'm going
a
to give her that.
competent one
Yeah,
who
she's
chose to do the
very
wrong thing.
yeah, she's very smart, but Erica's very calculated. I totally got her because like it's like, man, you couldn't pull that with me. I'm from California. You couldn't pull that with me. I don't know what the fuck going on with Kyle and who else is from California on this cast. Somebody else is from, or maybe not. But yeah,
Pretty much Kyle, actually, when you look at the cast, because Bose is not from here, Sutton's not, Garcella's not, Erica's not, Dorit's not, just Kyle. Damn, Kyle,
mhm.
we need better representation.
We sure
We
do
did this.
because anybody would have picked up on that instantly. I didn't like that. When she was talking about Cher, I didn't like that.
Mm.
I didn't
You
because you
didn't
were
like
trying to.
Jennifer
She was
Tilly
trying to.
speaking about her or Erica?
Erica. No,
I
Jennifer
figured.
Tilly made a comment and Erica doubled down and disputed Jennifer Tilly's comment to make
Mm.
her wrong in that situation. I didn't like that.
You're at her event. Like, just be
Yeah.
glad you're eating caviar. Because if anybody on this cast cannot afford the caviar that is expensive, you know, the little orange Nemo babies, that's Erica and Dorit. They both got husbands all over the place. Now, they move on, and basically, this is where Sutton orders something in French, and she starts speaking French, which I did not know she could do. And Sutton was not here for it. She throws shade um, at Dorit again, and it was just interesting because Sutton turns to Bose and she asks her how many people has she had, how many personalities does she have with her today? Because Dorit was like, I don't know what you I'm getting today. Girl, we don't know when you're gonna talk without your fake accent. So don't worry about that, Dorit. But Bose acts like she's lost, which was proof for everybody. This is what we mean when we say Bose needs to mind her business. If you don't understand why Sutton would ask you that question, then maybe you should stop just blindly defending Dorit without knowing the actual dynamics and the history within the group. Because I'm really annoyed with Bose for continuing to be up her ass. You just got here. And Sutton explains calmly, finally, that when she came to Dorit's house, she was ignored for 30 minutes, which was actually longer, until Kyle arrived. And Sutton did make herself known. She spoke, she said hello and these things. Kyle arrives and Dorit comes downstairs and barely acknowledges Sutton, which I did speak about last week. She then says that she was angry because Dorit likes to act lost on what was done. And Sutton is like, Dorit, just pick on somebody else. Right, waiting in the lobby. She's telling her to just pick on somebody else. And I was cracking up because Dorit said something to Sutton and she said, whose wallet fits. I said, oh, okay. I think this lady's about to get in her ass. So she's telling her to pick on somebody whose wallet fits. And Erica then asked her, do you think you're bigger than Dorit? And Sutton replied, I think my wallet is. Basically, that was you shut the fuck up before I come for you next. Cause I ain't forgot what you did to me seasons ago. That's what Sutton gave that energy to Erica. And Erica, for the first time, actually left her alone. And I think Erica, since y'all done pushed this lady to the end season after season. Kyle has assaulted her. Diana has went off on her. Nobody defended her. Dorit has accused her of being an alcoholic. They've made fun of her outfits, her clothing. They've talked about her ability to date, to get a man, keep a man. They have been in her business financially. These women have not been good to Sutton. And yes, it's TV and you're on a show, but after so long, you get fed up and you have to remind people who the hell you are. And Sutton did. And the cast is really just, it seems like they want to side with Dorit. Well, Erica tried to, nobody else did. So Sutton reads her for filth, and I think that we were all here for it. And if you look, Dorit did not know what to do. She was not hollering at Sutton the way that she hollered at Kyle, because Kyle actually did Dorit dirty. But in this case, I think Dorit knows like what she has done to Sutton is far worse than what Sutton has done to Dorit, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So it's interesting because I did not, first of all, I didn't know Faye Resnick was there. But before we get there, Garcelle had to be the one to step in and be like, maybe you need to apologize, Dorit, because you pushed this narrative about this lady being a freaking alcoholic, but then you never apologized for it. You said, and they showed the clip, I don't know. She never even said, no, I don't think you're an alcoholic. She's like, I don't know what she does, which is even worse than just apologizing. So this is where Dorit finally does, well, fine, I apologize. And it's like, well, I don't want it if somebody had to tell you to do it. I don't want an apology if you got to do that. I the same way. I don't want no apology. If you had to be told, coaxed, or think on it, pray on it, then keep it. If you don't naturally feel sorry, I don't want it. So Kyle then steps in because it got awkward, and it's like, what will it take to get you guys, in a better space? And Dorit then goes off on Kyle, and I think she gave that energy to Kyle at that table because she knew not to give it to Sutton. She knew not to give it to Sutton. And so she tries to get upset at Kyle and tries to pull the you're not defending me thing. And Kyle is like, what are you talking about? I've jumped into this. I've tried to stop the fight. I've said maybe what can be done to find resolution. What does Dorit want? Kyle to start cursing Sutton out after she just came back from Augusta with her? It's not going to happen, poor Reed. It's not going to happen. Not after you've been hollering at Kyle and going off on her episode after episode. It's not gonna happen. You can't expect that lady to have your back. So then, for some reason, Faye Resnick jumps in, and Kyle even goes the extra step to switch seats with Dorit so that they don't have to look directly at each other, her and Sutton. And Faye jumps in, and she's like, I drink just as much as Sutton. And Faye Resnick, for the first time ever in the history of being a public figure, made sense. She's like, I drink just as much as her, and tried to make the point like it's no fun to be judged or labeled. And that's what Dorit did to Sutton. And I would like to also say thank you to Sutton for reading Dorit for absolute filth in the right way and doing it with fact. Because everything Sutton said, the production showed receipts for siding with her, but Dorit, not so much. So Dorit walks off when the caviar is served, and I was surprised that she walked off, right? And Kyle goes and talks to her, and what ends up happening is Dorit thinks that she says, I had to get up from the table because Sutton has gone low. How does she go low? The only way is low is if you really are poor Reed. So I guess you are. So she says that she will eviscerate Sutton if she stays at the table. Girl, that woman said her pockets are bigger than yours, your husband's in debt. And Sutton can provide proof on this camera that you tried to defame her character by saying that she has an alcohol problem, which does impact and defame her character, which is a lawsuit, especially here in California. So I highly doubt that Dorit would eviscerate anything. I think she got up because she needed to get the hell away from everybody. And I think that's the first time that she got her ass handed to her. So even Kyle mentioned to Dorit in the situation, trying to calm her down away from the table, like, you have to understand how insinuating something on someone's, having a problem could be triggering. And Kyle did the same shit too. It's funny because Kyle got Dorit into this mess. Because at the time, Dorit was still up her ass. But Kyle went and apologized and made peace with Sutton. Meanwhile, the whole cast is sick of Dorit because, for the most part, she's up Kyle's ass and no one else's. So that was a lot. I'm gonna give James the floor. There was a lot that we just went over. It's very clear where I stand, but I would love to know how you felt about the whole interaction.
Yeah, I'm gonna hurry because I gotta go. But I'm gonna say this because I got mad at some of those women that when Sutton said that her wallet was bigger than Dorit's, how some of those women were like, okay, that's kind of wrong. I'm like, okay, so it's okay for Dorit to imply that she's an alcoholic, but it ain't okay for Sutton to imply that she broke. Got it. Got it. Okay. Especially Erica and Kyle over there. I got y'all. At the end of the day, I loved it. I loved every part of it. My favorite part is when Jennifer Tilly in her confessional said, "Ooh," like because we all know what is going on. So I'm just like, you know what? Got it. Y'all women are crazy if y'all think Sutton is the problem. Anybody who thinks Sutton is the problem, you're crazy. Because how much can you poke at somebody before they just act out? See, it's kind of like I feel like Dorit did that on purpose to get Sutton to act out of character, so then she can then prove her point that Sutton is unhinged, like they've been saying this entire time. And I feel like I validate Sutton for being unhinged if that's what she had to turn into to shut your ass down. I didn't mind Faye's little comment. I don't, y'all know I don't like Faye, so it was fine. Whatever. Um, I feel like also um, the other thing that I did not like at that table as well is how when Garcelle jumped up for Sutton, everyone was kind of looking at Garcelle like, okay, you can see that she doesn't have a point here. And Dorit's lack of accountability, I didn't like that either. I'm like, ma'am, all you had to do was say, you know what? Taking a page out of Garcelle's book, because I understand this is going to be a secondhand apology. I apologize for implying that, if that's really not what it is. I'm just thinking I have a concern for you and your drinking, if you really felt that way. But we know you didn't. We know you did it to be mean. So I'm here for Sutton. I am Team Sutton. I am Team Sutton. I am Team Sutton. This is why she is my favorite housewife.
It's
Because
like James said, Dorit did what she did to Sutton to be mean, not out of concern. So now that she's getting the same energy back, are we supposed to feel sorry for you, bitch? We don't.
nope,
We
not
don't.
in the slightest. Not in the slightest. And you know what? I want you to keep your foot on poor Reed's neck, Sutton. Don't you let it off. I don't care what she do or how much ass kissing she give you. Do not take your foot off that lady neck. Keep it
Hmm.
there. I don't give a damn about Bose. I don't give a damn about Erica. Keep that foot on that lady neck. And yes, I'm so sorry to have to leave the live early, but I have to get to work. But I love you guys. Love you, Mrs. Best. I will see you guys next time on my channel tomorrow. I'll talk to you later.
Adios.
Bye
So
bye.
the last thing, y'all, because I agree with everything he said. The very last thing, and this is a good point too, Shani. These women, season after season, disrespect Sutton, and so it's kind of like I get why she went over the head. And Kyle did also try to make sense, like in the confessional, saying Sutton feels this way because her father struggled with substances, so she doesn't want that put on her. And we know that her father, unfortunately, did unalive himself. So even without that, the treatment's not okay. But I just don't feel for Dorit. Now, if Sutton continues coming for Dorit, then I'll be like, okay, girl, you're doing too much, right? Because you don't have to keep attacking somebody. I think read her for filth and leave it there. If you say you done with her, Sutton, then now that you read her for filth, be done with her. Now, if you come back and you just keep coming for her, then it's a problem. But she said what she needed to say, and I agree. What's good, DM Rocks? Welcome in. He said, hey, it was funny when Dorit told Kyle, you can jump in. And Kyle was like, well, I'm in it. Dorit basically, I think, really did realize this episode. Like, people see you for who you really are. Now that you're losing all of the materialistic stuff that you painted yourself out to be on this show, and now suddenly you want to have morals and decorum and be nice and not a mean girl. You don't play with nobody's sobriety, whether they got a problem or don't. You just don't. So yeah, I was here for it. Now, before we end the live, y'all, we had one last scene, and that was the stuff that we all saw months ago. Mauricio being caught in the airport kissing on some lady. And everybody on the cast is weirded out because apparently this is not, first of all, the airport was in Europe. I guess there's less tabloids out there or something from how they explained it. Secondly, this was coming, it looked like off the plane or something of that nature. So people are like, who took this picture, and alleging like this is not a space that paparazzi are usually at. Sutton was talking about how she's been in the same airport before with Jennifer Aniston and there was nobody around. And I'm like, Jennifer Aniston's real known, but she's not really problematic. And I'm not seeing who would want the picture these days. But I get the reference. Basically nobody trusts Kyle and Mauricio because of how they've handled their separation, is what it seems. Sutton and Garcelle seem to think that this picture was planned and it's all a setup, as well as the Morgan Wade thing to make Mo and Kyle relevant. I don't. I think that Kyle put him out and now he's living his best life, and probably the same life that he's been living while he was married to Kyle, which is probably why they're freaking separated. So it's like, okay, crickets in that airport. The other thing, I love Garcelle and I love Sutton, right, y'all? But it's an airport. Somebody could have recognized them, took the picture, and sold it to a tabloid or sold it to the paparazzi. So just because the picture ended up everywhere does not mean that the paparazzi was actively in the airport, if that makes sense. Like, people could sell a photo of anything if they really wanted to. Let me catch the comments. Seeing the preview, Garcelle and Dorit are having a one-on-one lunch. Irritating. If they have a one-on-one lunch and they actually talk about their issues without reading each other, fine. But I think Sutton has read Dorit called Sutton an alcoholic or insinuated it, which was not okay. And Sutton got fed up with it and read her for filth. I would call the field even. I would call it even with these two. So if they talk it out, fine. But if they're just going to argue and do the same stuff, I don't want to see it no more. It's been episode after episode after episode. Like, I'm tired of it. I think Sutton needs to leave Dorit alone. Just ignore her, learn to coexist, but never really mess with her like that. And let Bose learn how awful Dorit is, because she will learn. Mo is in the streets. He's in the streets and the sheets. He's living his best life. He's living his best life. And I can't blame him, because can you imagine going back to the women he's dating and then having to look at Kyle? Can't blame him. Can't blame him. Shani said, I didn't see the preview, but I did see the one where Erica and Sutton's mother are going to be in town at the same time. That, I don't really care to see Erica's mom. I don't really care to see Reba either, but I am glad that, the moms are coming. I think it's nice that their moms support the. DM Rock said, do you see this cast coming back next season? I feel like Sutton will come back, because the more y'all hate her, the more you make her relevant. It's kind of like the Dr. Heavenly effect, I'll call it. I can see Sutton coming back. Honestly, I feel like they'll keep Dorit as well until her divorce is final. Kyle is desperate for attention. I do not see her leaving this show unless production puts her out. And I don't know if they are going to do that this season. I don't know if Garcelle will come back. And I feel like production will keep Erica until the litigation with all of these freaking lawsuits is complete. So I think most of them will come back. Oh, Bose. I don't know with Bose. I really like Bose. I really like Bose, like off of the show. I just don't like her with Dorit, but separate from that, I like her. I want to see more from Bose, but I don't trust NBC Universal as it relates to race. And Bose made some comments about her and Garcelle's camaraderie because they Black on the Breakfast Club, and I feel like Bravo might be like, but oh no, Garcelle, I don't want Garcelle to come back to this show. I want that to be very clear. I've been saying that since this season began. Sorry, y'all, that's my alarm. I don't feel like Garcelle should be on this show. And James always disagrees with me here, y'all, but I feel like Garcelle is a much better friend to Sutton and to other people on the cast than she is on this show. I think Garcelle got fed up with the foolery and Erica and all of that and just kind of checked out. She's always in Atlanta. She's got other stuff going on. So, yeah, I love Garcelle. I appreciate her being the first Black woman on this franchise, but I think that she is now just kind of a dud and she can go. She can definitely go. What is Erica going to talk about next season now that she has redecorated her bungalow? Well, Erica's actually doing Broadway, I believe, right now for Chicago. So she's what is it called? She's Roxy Hart again. So she's back on Broadway. So I feel like they'll let her talk about that. And she'll probably continue to reference the BS, but I don't think they're going to let go of her until she's at the very least like able to divorce him. And California says, no, no, little dove. So we'll see. But they definitely need to fix it. Um, they definitely need to fix it. They really do. Garcelle needs to go for sure, for sure. I also think that Kyle for sure needs to go. And I think Erica could go also. Like, I know production wants her, but Erica's boring as hell to me now. So that's how I feel, y'all. But I appreciate you, beautiful humans and thugs, for being here. I hope that those who enjoyed our video give it a like. If you really like us, give it a share so that other people can find us. Subscribe to both channels. James's link is in the description. I saw Candace. I saw that as well. I follow Candace. It was odd, but I kind of see what Candace is doing. Stay relevant, kick it with people. But I love all of y'all. Peace and blessings to you all and to you as well, twin. And we will see you guys tomorrow on James's channel. We're going to talk about Karen Huger's sentencing. She's going to have to do time. She was sentenced to 2 years with 1 suspended. So that means she will spend a year in jail, likely 6 to 8 months with good behavior. There's a lot going on that we're going to talk about. Latasha Scott making an odd diss song cover to her family and her husband and all this craziness. So there's a lot to talk about in the update video, but y'all enjoy the rest of your hump day. Go hump somebody. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Adios.